The federal government's Public Service Loan Forgiveness (PSLF) program is now accepting applications for student loan forgiveness. This is an excellent opportunity for students struggling with student loan debt. To be eligible for loan forgiveness, borrowers must submit the PSLF application, which is available on the Department of Education's website. The PSLF program forgives the remaining balance on direct loans for borrowers who have made 120 qualifying monthly payments while working full-time for a qualifying employer. The PSLF program is just one of the many student loan forgiveness programs available to borrowers. Other programs include the Teacher Loan Forgiveness Program and the Perkins Loan Cancellation and Discharge Program. If you are struggling with student loan debt, research all the different forgiveness programs that might be available to you. Taking advantage of these programs can provide much-needed relief. The government student loan forgiveness programs are a great way to get relief if you are struggling with student loan debt. If you think you might be eligible for forgiveness, please fill out the PSLF application on the Department of Education website. If you're struggling to repay your student loans, you may be wondering if there's any way to get relief from your debt. The good news is that you may be eligible for student loan forgiveness. Student loan forgiveness is when the government cancels all or part of your student loan debt. This means that you are no longer responsible for repaying your loan. You can qualify for student loan forgiveness in a few different ways. For example, you might be eligible if you work in a public service job or have made payments for several years. Don't wait to get help with your student loans. If you are struggling to make your payments, options are available. Talk to your loan servicer about your options and look into student loan forgiveness programs. With a bit of research, you could find a way to get relief from your student loan debt. When it comes to student loan forgiveness, there are a few different programs available, each with its own eligibility requirements. The best-known program is probably the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, available to borrowers who work in specific public service jobs. Other programs include the Teacher Loan Forgiveness Program and the Perkins Loan Cancellation and Discharge Program. To be eligible for student loan forgiveness, you typically need to make payments for a certain number of years, usually 10, and meet other requirements. For example, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program requires borrowers to make 120 qualifying payments while working full-time in a public service job. Eligibility requirements can be complex, so it's essential to research and ensure you understand the program requirements you're interested in. You can find more information on the different student loan forgiveness programs on the U.S. Department of Education's website. So, if you're looking for student loan forgiveness, there are a few different programs to consider, each with its own requirements. Be sure to do your research and understand the requirements of the program you're interested in before you apply. It's no secret that student loan debt is a massive problem in the United States. According to the latest figures from the Federal Reserve, Americans owe a total of $1.56 trillion in student loan debt. That's more than any other type of debt, including credit card debt and auto loans. The good news is that programs can help borrowers get their student loan debt forgiven. But the bad news is that the application process can be confusing and overwhelming. This blog post will look at the different types of student loan forgiveness programs and the application process for each one. The first step in any application process is to gather the required documentation. Borrowers must provide proof of their eligibility for the program they are applying for. For the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, borrowers must submit an employment certification form. This form must be completed by the borrower's employer and certify that the borrower is employed full-time in an eligible public service job. Borrowers must submit a teacher loan forgiveness application for the Teacher Loan Forgiveness Program. The borrower and their employer must complete this application. After the required documentation has been gathered, the next step is to complete the application. The application will ask for personal information, such as the borrower's name, address, and social security number. The application will also ask for information about the borrower's loans, such as the loan servicers, loan types, and loan balances. Once the application is complete, it must be submitted to the appropriate agency for review. The agency will then determine if the borrower is eligible for loan forgiveness. If the borrower is approved for loan forgiveness, the agency will notify the borrower's loan servicer to begin the forgiveness process. The loan servicer will then forgive the borrower's remaining loan balance. Student loan debt can be a huge burden, but some programs can help. The key is to understand the application process and gather the required documentation. If you do that, you'll be on your way to getting your student loans forgiven. You're not alone if you're struggling to repay your student loans. Millions of Americans are struggling to keep up with their student loan payments. According to the Federal Reserve, the number of Americans with student loan debt has quadrupled since 1999. There are several reasons why this is the case. For one, the cost of college has been rising faster than inflation. This means that more and more students are taking out loans to pay for their education. Additionally, the job market has been increasingly competitive in recent years. This means that recent graduates often take jobs that don't pay as much as they would like. As a result, they have a more challenging time making their monthly student loan payments. If you're struggling to make your student loan payments, you may be wondering what your options are. First, you should know that you're not alone. There are several resources available to help you manage your debt. One option is student loan consolidation. This allows you to combine multiple federal student loans into a single loan with a single monthly payment. This can help you lower your monthly payments or get a lower interest rate. Another option is student loan refinancing. This allows you to take out a new loan with a private lender to replace your existing student loans. This can help you get a lower interest rate or monthly payment. If you're having trouble making your monthly student loan payments, you can also explore options like deferment or forbearance. These options allow you to stop making payments or make smaller payments temporarily. This can help you get back on track financially. There are also income-driven repayment plans available for federal student loans. These plans can help lower your monthly payments based on your income and family size. You can also consider student loan forgiveness programs. These programs can forgive all or part of your student loan debt if you meet specific requirements. If you're struggling to repay your student loans, several options are available. Explore all of your options and find the one that best suits your needs. If you're struggling to repay your student loans, you may be considering student loan forgiveness as an option. But what is student loan forgiveness, and is it the right choice for you? Student loan forgiveness is when you are no longer responsible for repaying your student loan. There are various requirements for student loan forgiveness, including working in a public service job or having your student loan forgiven through income-driven repayment. Student loan forgiveness benefits include reducing your monthly payments and eventually having your student loan forgiven. The risks of student loan forgiveness include paying taxes on the forgiven amount and not having your student loan forgiven if you don't meet the requirements. There are several types of student loan forgiveness, including public service loan forgiveness, income-driven repayment, and loan consolidation. The steps for student loan forgiveness vary depending on the program you choose. Generally, they involve making payments for a certain number of years and then applying for forgiveness. Before you decide whether student loan forgiveness is right for you, it's essential to understand the pros and cons. Here's a closer look at the pros and cons of student loan forgiveness. Pros of student loan forgiveness. 1. You can reduce your monthly payments. If you qualify for income-driven repayment, your monthly payments will be based on your income and family size. This can make your monthly payments more affordable and help you stay on track with repayment. 2. You may eventually have your loan forgiven. You may be eligible for student loan forgiveness if you make payments for 20 or 25 years under an income-driven repayment plan or work in a public service job. This means that you would no longer be responsible for repaying your loan. 3. You can get out of default. If you default on your student loan, your credit will be damaged, and you may be subject to wage garnishment. Student loan forgiveness can help you get out of default and get back on track with repayment. Cons of student loan forgiveness. 1. You may have to pay taxes on the forgiven amount. If you have your student loan forgiven, you may have to pay taxes on the forgiven amount. This can add to your overall financial burden. 2. You may not have your loan forgiven. If you don't meet the requirements for student loan forgiveness, you may still be responsible for repaying your loan. This means that you could end up paying more in the long run. 3. You could damage your credit. If you enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, your monthly payments will be based on your income. If your income changes or you experience financial hardship, your payments could go up. This could damage your credit. Before you decide whether student loan forgiveness is right for you, it's essential to understand the pros and cons, weigh your options carefully, and consider all of your options before making a decision. When it comes to student loan relief, there are several different options available. You may have heard of some of these options, such as income-driven repayment plans or public service loan forgiveness. But there are also other options that you may not be aware of. For example, did you know that you can consolidate your loans? This can help you lower your monthly payment by combining multiple loans into one. Or what about loan deferment or forbearance? This allows you to temporarily stop making payments on your loan or reduce your monthly payment. You may also be eligible for loan forgiveness programs if you work in specific public service jobs. For example, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program forgives the remaining balance on your loan after 10 years of qualifying employment.